Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Magdalena, and you're back with me doing a third session on uh, creating your own insect book. I hope you all had a good week. I hope you're all kind of enjoying the weather. And I know it is difficult for all of us to be kind of stuck inside with no interaction. And I think those sessions are a sort of bliss, and hopefully, I mean, I know not everybody will be painting with me, and I understand that because it's the middle of the day and maybe that's not the first thing you do in the afternoon after you had your lunch. But I hope that those sessions will inspire you and will guide you through and give you ideas about what you can do and how you can use your time wisely, and what you can how you can use this lockdown for learning and for developing maybe your own little projects, and for working with children as well, to create something nice and to learn. And if you're doing like a homemade sessions, which you all should be doing, then why not join and create something similar with your children. So insects, as I said before, we've been doing 3 sessions. This is a third one, and luckily, I know you'll be very excited. There will be one more session next week where we will be painting dragonflies, and that should be the last session on insect. Now, if I was to come back and do any more videos, I would probably go into flowers or birds, because, like I said before, I love nature and I love all aspects of it, not just insects, but flowers, but birds, but trees, but just about everything. So I'm very excited to be here this afternoon, and I brought my friends. So first week, if you want to go back into the history of the Artcore videos, first week we started doing this insect book. Okay, and this is just color paper put together, stapled together. I didn't have the chance to staple it because I don't know where the staple gun is. So I've just put some sheets of color paper together, and at the end of the project, we will stick all of those together. Or you could do it weekly, and you can stick your paintings, cut them out, stick them onto your insect book, as and also include information. So if you're doing this with children, it's a really good way to remember things about insects. So do go back to all the videos that I've been doing if you enjoy this project, and if you think this is a great idea for, especially for children, but for adults as well. So insect book, here's my cutouts. I've cut all the letters based on patterns in insects. And week 1, we've been covering a little bit about ladybirds. So here's my model from week 1. Yeah, who made live. Bit of sound effect. Now in week 2, we've been learning about bumblebees. So I hope you can still remember some facts about bumblebees. And today, although I initially posted a picture of a monarch butterfly, I thought, last week there was a sign in my studio whenever I opened the window. I had a bumblebee in. I also had a peacock butterfly, and I thought, that's it. This is a sign. I must paint a peacock butterfly, because this is something we see on a daily basis. And I've been very fortunate to go on the allotment and see lots of them. So they're really beautiful, and they have this amazing camouflage, which we are going to draw. There is a lot to draw, so I have prepared a little bit of a sketch just beforehand. So I'll show you a close-up. Okay, so the peacock butterfly has got those wonderful eyes. So we're gonna draw some circles onto the four wings. So we've got the 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom, and then we're gonna draw some ovals. Okay, and this is the main. Oh, hang on. Ovals. This is the main camouflage. So the peacock butterfly's got like a orangey brownie color, although sometimes it can be slightly redder. Yeah, it's hard to get the brightness into the watercolors, and it's also particularly hard to get the sheen onto the colors when you're painting with watercolor. So I tried adding a little bit, I don't know whether you can see it, but I tried adding a little bit of a sheen. I've tried adding a little bit of iridescent pastels on top of the blue, and you can still see this is not as bright as nature. So imitating nature, It's very, very tricky. So let's begin. We've got the picture. If you need to find a picture of a peacock butterfly, I have attached one in the description or in the description of earlier on. So you can put that onto your computer or you can print it, and then you can also watch the video I'm doing now, or you could paint along with me and see, where it leads you. I also have a little guide here, butterflies, okay, and there are many, many species and they're all beautiful. And I've just discovered this one, which high brown fritillary. I love fritillarias or snakehead. So I thought, wow, this is amazing. The camouflages that they have, they are just unbelievable. So don't just think it's a butterfly. We are doing this little guy here, peacock butterfly, okay? So I have kind of taken notice of your advice. If my friend Gabby is watching this, I have got a little stand, although you see it's never in the right place. So I've got a little stand here, and I'm gonna rest my drawing from time to time, although I need to stand it up like that. Let me just move the camera down a little bit. Okay, so let's begin. Just like always, we are going to start with a pencil and a middle line, and we are going to draw a strong middle line through the middle of the paper, more or less, okay? So we've got that, yeah, and then we are going to draw like a oval for the head and the little mandible. So I'm really pressing just to make sure everybody can follow. Okay, so the mandibules are they look a little bit like claws. Okay, or like horns. Okay, and after that we are going to do the bodies. Okay, so the body we're gonna keep it simple because it's a very long tutorial otherwise, and I don't want it to be draining. We're just going to draw a long sausage. So easy, long sausage, little circle, and mandible. Okay. After that, we are going to draw the left and the right wings. So just like we did on the bumblebees last week, we have got the front wings and the back wings. So front or top wings and bottom wings. So front wing here. It is very easy to draw wings because we've all done them before, but the wings of the peacock butterflies aren't straight. They have got this zigzagged, or what's the term? Not a straight edge, let's say. It's a wobbly edge. It's like a sort of a shoreline. Okay, so let's do the other wing. So here we are drawing the same thing, and we're trying to do a wobbly edge on the outside, and then carrying on and joining the two. Okay, so far so good, super easy to do. After that, we are going to do the same thing. So starting, we could just extend and use the same wing line from there, and then we are going to add the bottom wing again, quite wobbly line, rugged, I think it's the term, rugged edge. Yeah, can you see that? Quite easy. Okay, and repeat the same idea on the other side. Like I said, if you're doing this video at home, or if you're doing this lesson, in fact, at home, you can watch the video as many times as you want. You can also look at the pattern or look at the reference image online, okay? So I hope you're all busy drawing because I'm not getting any comments, so that's why. I'm very pleased to have received so many images of, and very grateful for you know, all the response that I've had, and I'm absolutely amazed by the creations that I've been sent, and hope you carry on with the good work, and hope you share your ideas, and hope you share your paintings with me and with Artcore. So far we've got a sort of a generic butterfly. I'm going to rub out that middle line, because now that we've got the symmetry, we don't need it as much. Okay, so keeping back, we've got the eyes here, we've got the mandibles or the little teeth. Okay, and we've got the wings. So it's nice and simple. Yeah. After that, we are going to complicate a little bit. We are going to draw the 4 main circles or ovals. So one onto the edge of the top wing, one there. Okay, circle or oval. Remember the tips I told you on drawing circles on ovals when you draw on a flat surface. Circle, circle, circle again, or oval, not quite round, oval and oval. So the amazing thing about the peacock butterflies is that they've got this amazing camouflage, and those peacock, this peacock pattern, it kind of makes the butterfly look like it's got, when it's flat on a surface, on a leaf, on a branch, it almost looks like a little sort of a scary creature with eyes. Okay, like big eyes, and then a beak. If you can see that, can you see the creature like a bird? Yeah, so the camouflage is really to make it look kind of scary for any predators. Now, butterflies are hunted by lots of, or eaten by lots of other creatures, including birds, mice, even cats. The cats love to catch them because they're fun, because they fly, and anything that flies and moves is interesting for cats. So they have to distinguish, they have to kind of give the predators a sort of warnings. Do not come near me because I've got big eyes and I can attack you as well. So nature is very clever. Nature's find its way to kind of thrive with or without our help. So what we can do is just observe, you know, what things, how things are, and observe what nature, you know, looks like, and what nature does to thrive. So inside the circle, I'm going to simplify the pattern and going to make another oval and another circle. So that's the main, you know, that's quite simple. We've got the 4 wings, 4 circles, and pretty easy. Should be pretty easy to do from now on. We're gonna do the antennas, and there. Okay, and then just to complicate it a little bit, we're gonna add a double edge almost all throughout the wings. So a double edge, I'm going to make it really strong. A double edge here where the space allows. Of course, when we get to the ovals, we're gonna forget about that double edge, although we can still see it. So double edge from the edge of the peacock's wing, the butterfly wing. Okay, double edge there, and then again double edge here, and then again double edge there where space or room allows, and then we're gonna do a double edge there. And then we are going to add those little things that looks like claws or teeth, little black patterns. So here we have like a V shape, 1 and 2. And on the bottom wing, similar to the front wing, we've got the same kind of pattern, 1 and 2. Okay, some of them are facing the right way, the wrong way around, but you know, so those one, this one, go there to there. Let me just change this one here so that they're all kind of facing the same way. Okay, so that's my main structures. Now that I finished this, I can start painting. So Get your paints ready, get your tissue because you will need to drain your brush before spreading the paint. I'm going to move this for now, my stand, and I'm just gonna hold this. No, I'm not. I'm going to, let me just find a way and maybe just glue tuck it down to here. This is not a bad idea, is it? So, hey ho, it stands on its own, so great. Working up way, the right way, not right way up, working vertically or upright means that my paint will dribble. So I'm trying on purpose to work a little bit drier, but if you're working flat, just use as much water as you need. So before we start with watercolors, I'm going to remind you that you should keep your colors fairly pale to begin with, and then you can look at patterns, you can look at stippling and all the things like we've done last week, and you see a little bit of stippling, a little bit of hair. So the butterfly's body, like the caterpillar's body, like the bumblebee bodies, aren't smooth. They have got this fine hair all over. So starting with the main colors, just simplifying as much as I can, I'm going to start with painting an orange, a mix of orange and red for the first wing, okay, excluding that border, that double line. So trying to do this fairly quickly just to keep it fun and to make sure we finish in within the time we've got. However, you can do this over and over again. I forgot to add those circles. We've got 2 little circles on each side, which we should leave white. 1 and 2. Sorry about this. I just looked at my image and I realized, oh, forgot to do those 2. Right, so back to painting. So covering with orange the top wing. I'm mixing a orange, like a cadmium orange, with a cadmium red, so the orangey red rather than the purpley red. I don't have my double line here because I am talking when I am doing it. So there you go, I've got everything now. That's one thing you discover when you're painting. You kind of see that you miss parts out, and that's fine, that's happening. And it's only when you start looking closely you realize that you think you draw what you see, but actually you don't pay as much attention as perhaps we should. So studying those or doing more and more of painting or observing from nature will train us to observe, to see better. Okay, so that's one thing done. I hope you're all following me, and I'm looking forward to seeing your drawings. So it does look quite bright on my paper, although on the camera it looks quite dull. I don't know whether I could show you that any better than this. Okay, I'm going to add the same color onto the second top wing. So orangey red and orange, combination of the two. Fill in the area, allowing those white dots, 2 white dots, to kind of show through. So avoid painting them if you can. All right, and then it's getting really warm into my studio, so if I faint, you'll know why. Okay. So first of all, we are painting the base colors, and then we're gonna go into more details. So that's almost done. I'm gonna try and speed up a little. The base color of the second wing, yeah, if you can all see, it's like a browny color rather than orange. Okay, so for this area, I'm going to use a brown burnt umber, like a dark greeny brown. burnt umber. Okay, if you want to see my colors, you see here I've got greens and browns. A burnt umber is like closer to chestnut. No, in fact, it's closer to an earthy color. The raw colors are kind of a bit earthier than the burnt colors. The burnt colors have got more reds in them, and the raw colors have got more of a green in it. So anyway, just use a brown, okay? Use a dark brown and do it quite watery. You can add a hint of orange here and there because it's still part of the same butterfly. So it's nice to kind of match the colors a little bit or hints of it, because otherwise it looks like there's two separate butterflies. So do the same thing, just cover the wings with brown again. And allow the peacock eyes, that like the cherry on top of the cake. We're gonna do that last because it's really fun and that really makes the whole thing stand out, and you know, just makes it a little bit more distinguished. So we've got the browns and we've got the oranges. Okay, brilliant. After that we are going to take we're gonna paint the borders as well. So I'm going to paint the top border with a very pale brown, so more like a yellow, similar to what we did on the bumblebee. So paint that in yellow and add a hint of brown for the lower part here. Okay, so yellow and brown for there. If you want to blend it in with the edge of the orange, you can just go over it with a wet brush and soften it into the orange. So like so, and blending a little bit quickly. Okay. So doesn't the color look a little bit like quite pale, quite anyway, I'll take a picture at the end of this. Let me see, is this one looking just as pale? Yeah. So I'll take a picture at the end to show you the colors are actually a lot brighter. So we'll do the same on to the bottom wings. We're gonna paint the edge, the double edge, with a pale brown or brown and yellow. Okay. And do the same on the other side. So if you're all following, we are doing the base colors first before we go into the details, because they are very, very fun to do. So back to yellow. I'm using the mustardy yellow for the top, mustard yellow for the top, mustard yellow, and a touch of brown, touch of burnt umber if you know your paints, burnt umber, and yellow ochre for the edge of the butterfly. Okay, so that's all done. We've got more or less the base colors. We can put quickly a yellow ochre and brown, so same mix for the body as well, over the head, over the eyes, just so it's painted. Okay, just so it looks more interesting. Now then, let me just think. We've got black for the outside of the circle. We've got a little bit of blue in between, and then black again. So let me just check there and there. So yeah, so we're gonna paint. Let's start with painting the those claws because they're easy. So, and also allow a little bit of time for the rest to dry. So I'm going into a mix, like I said before. I'm never using just black on its own. So I kind of use black with a touch of blue, or got some extra paints here, black with a touch of purple. That's also fun. So black and purple for all the patterns. So here, little, this one is that little claw, or little, yeah, I think claw. or tooth, like that. Okay, and you see when you look at the peacock butterflies, you see that when you've got patterns like this, I'm trying to paint them this way around to simplify, but they aren't defined as much as I am defining them. So after you paint a neat line, make sure you go back and kind of destroy that symmetry and extending by actually stippling. Okay, so let me show you a little bit more. Perfect. So moving on, my drawing's giving up. So moving on, let me just put some more blue tack here. So paint the same thing on the next wing. So we've got the 4 claws, and again we can paint them quite loosely. And then last one. After that, we are going to take the black paint and we're gonna do a sort of a cheat, and we're gonna do a line all over the outside of the peacock butterfly. Okay, so line. Now this point, if you've got a fine brush, you can just change it, because it's much easier to do fine details with a fine brush. And then just go around. So I'm using black with a hint of blue or purple, and just to disguise my pencil lines, I'm going to go around, and this creates quite a satisfying effect because it kind of hides your pencil line. It looks like you've painted it all freehand, which would be a nice thing to do. And it looks like you've actually just done all your planning with a brush, which takes a lot of confidence. So carrying on, yeah, I'm going to outline everything in more or less black with a hint of blue or purple. So you can see in the camera as well, it's starting to look a lot more interesting. Yeah, a lot more painterly, that way around. And leaving the cherry at the end for the end. So again, outlining everything. And then we can go back and add, because you could see in the photographs that I've attached earlier, the wings have got like a sheen, and they've got like lots of reflections. They've got blue reflections and almost shimmery reflections, which are very hard to imitate. So we're gonna try and keep it simple for the time we have. And hopefully this sort of tutorial will inspire you to look at butterfly, even closer. Let me just put should find a way next time to stick my paper better. So I managed to extend my line. Right, and can you see I'm on to which area doesn't look painted? This one. I'm on to the last line, so let's just do that, and then we're more than halfway through. So painting the antennas while we've got this dark mix, painting a little bit of the mandible or the eyes, doing a little bit of shading. You can also do a little bit of a pattern on the body, little bit of something, a bit of shading, okay, because it looks better than just yellow on its own. And after that, it's all looking good. After that, we're gonna do this double line at the top. So where we drew that double line, we're gonna paint that, and a little bit like a tiger, we've got that yellow ochre underneath it. So we're gonna join the two lines by doing like this tigerly stripy pattern with, again, black and brown, or even black and blue, yeah, but this one seems to be more brownier in places. So if you're looking at the photograph, you can just correct me if I'm wrong. And you see how simple that was. I've just joined the double line, and that's one of the reasons we drew that to begin with. So you could do lines that are joining from one end to the other, or lines that are just halfway through. And look how beautiful that looks. Yeah, it looks like my butterflies has only got one eye, because one, it looks like it's missing. So I'm gonna put the second eye in and try and make it a little bit more interesting on the head. Okay, that's gone a little bit dark, so I might brighten it up later on. So after we've done this pattern, it's already starting to look a lot nicer. We are going to paint blue. So I struggle to get like a super light blue. If you have a really nice blue, then you can just add blue and white together to make it brighter. However, no matter how I mix my blue, it's never come as bright as the one that's on the original photograph. So going to kind of give up trying to mix the perfect blue and just go ahead with one light blue. So any blue you've got around you, you can use that. Yeah, and we are going to, so we've got the 2 circles on each wing. So between the 2 circles, we are going to, on the, let's say the outside of the inner circle, we are going to create a little pattern. My board is falling again. Okay, so we're going to create a little pattern like stippling around the inner circle, like so. Can you see? So 1 and 2, and I'll bring that closer to you. So do lots of stipples, and then from time to time we can just join them. Okay, so stipple, stipple, dot, 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 and then sometimes you drag the brush through to join them. You can also go a little bit inside that circle, because we're gonna paint that black later on, so it really it can really go over the blue if you do too much of it or not enough. Okay, so blue on the outside, almost like can you see I'm hiding my inner circle, with a touch of blue. And again, that's a nice trick for this disguising the pencil lines, because when I draw normally, especially for watercolors, I don't press at all, because once you start painting with watercolor, you realize that your pencil marks will never ever disappear. Okay, so almost ready. This is starting to look more like a peacock butterfly, so I'm quite happy with that. I hope you like this too, and I hope you start looking at butterflies and discover more patterns. And next time I meet you after this lockdown, you show me your insect book with at least 40 species of butterflies. Okay, so it's a plan. I'm always working onto something. I don't really struggle with finding things to do, because I find everything too exciting, and I'm kind of enjoying the time looking at nature. And I think we were very fortunate to have good weather and to see nature coming alive. Okay, so we've got the blue patterns. I'm going to bring that closer to you. And now we're going to finish off more or less with the black outside the circle, so the outer circle and the inside of the circle. Again, if you want to add a touch of blue or purple with your black, that's also a nice thing to do. So let's begin. Doesn't matter where you start. The idea is to try and kind of let the other layer dry. So if the blue is not completely dry, maybe paint somewhere else instead. And again, although we've started with a circle, we don't have to keep the circle. It could be a jagged line, it could be a sort of a stipply line like we've had, or like I told you on the other elements. So it doesn't have to be a perfect circle. It can be like a wobbly, jagged a line full of stipplings or made out of stipplings. So I filled in the inside of the circle, and now I'm going to cover my outer circle, so the one that I painted really strongly. Sorry, I drew really strongly, so now I have to kind of hide it. So again, extend the circle, extend the outline. Sometimes the oval shape comes a little bit more in, sometimes goes a little bit more out, sometimes it extends. Okay. And sometimes in between the two colors you can also have some yellow. So let's finish that off. Let's do every single one of them. So quickly, hopefully once you've done one, it becomes a bit easier to do the second one. And then outline. Okay. Not having to do it really smoothly, it's quite satisfying, and it's ideal for people who are beginners and who struggle to draw fine lines. So same on the other one. So again, outline in black, and that's looking good. And then where was I here? And then one more, and then one more circle on the inside. So not bad for a half an hour painting. We are going to do a little bit of extra touches here and there. So let's look at a touch of pattern. So we can add one or two veins. So we can take a sort of, what color would it be? A sort of black, again, a darker color, black or brown. And we are going to add one or two veins through, remember when we painted the bumblebees, they've got those beautiful veins that fill up with blood and help them spread their wings. Okay, and do the same on the other side. So I'm using a brown color this time because black again is too flat. Just add one or two veins, and then just as a pattern, we can add a touch of brown on the outside. So like we did on the top part here, where we joined the two lines with the tiger pattern, as I call it, we are going to do a little bit of a darker or brown, a few lines in between the double line that we drew initially. Okay, not too strong. And do the same on each side. Okay, just add some more interest. Okay, brown again, and then just a few lines. And after we finish that, we are going to add just a few little dots of different colors like brown or black or texture. So if you are following from the photograph, you can look there and you could see that the body isn't smooth and isn't a single color. So I'm going to use black and brown to add some stipples, some dots onto the base of the wing where it joins the body. Okay, if they're too strong, you can always add more water. You can also add the texture of hair, you know. So after you do stipples, you could also do a little bit of, let me look on to my drawing, a few texture lines like so, here and there, just to suggest that this body isn't smooth, it's very, very hairy, like a moth. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing on the orange part, so a little bit of texture, a bit of stippling here and there. And you can carry on and add more if you want, or you can just cut it out now and then get it ready for your insect book. So I'm quite pleased with that. The blue doesn't look great, but I promise you it's brighter in real life than it is on the camera. So after we've painted that, make sure you let it dry a little bit. I'm going to quickly cut it out. Let me show you again a close-up. See, my paint is still wet. So I'm going to cut it out. There's lots of other things we could be doing, but let's just finish off here for the purpose of this demonstration. Could always add hints of blue and more patterns. Okay, you know me, I never say no to more, although less is more. You know, it's better to leave it, better to keep it simple. You're not sure what you're doing, and then the more you train your eyes to see, the better you'll do with painting and with drawing. Okay, I'm going to add this final line here because I can't really see the edge of the body. So let me show you. I want to add to my collection my butterfly. So I'm not cutting super closely. I'm leaving a white border, which is quite nice. It's a bit like a highlight onto the wing and onto the body. And so far we've been doing two creatures, two insects with wings, and next week we are going to look at the wonderful dragonflies and their life cycle. So each butterfly starts as an egg. I forgot to kind of include a sort of a description of what they do, how they come to life. So the butterflies, they are born as eggs, and then from a little egg they hatch and they turn into caterpillars. So the peacock butterfly looks like a black and white caterpillar, or a black one with white dots, and usually the mother will leave the eggs on the back of a nettle plant, and we all know not to go close to nettles, and I know the butterflies knows that too. So because nettles are quite safe for them, that's where they lay their eggs, and from the eggs they hatch into wonderful black and white caterpillars, and from there they eat and eat and eat until they are ready to pupate, and so they develop this little shell, or the pupa, and from the shell they kind of go through a stage of transformation, which is fascinating. And out of the cocoon, I think it's called, out of that they change into a wonderful butterfly. So they're like creatures that get to experience two life forms into one single life. So it's a bit like us being born into, I don't know, the body of a frog, and then after eating we are going to turn into princesses and prince, aren't we? So this is my butterfly and the cutout. I think I have done enough for today. If you have enjoyed this session and if you're painting yours, make sure you write a few facts about the butterflies. This is my second one. So I'm going to kind of develop a team here of insects. I think they're my friends throughout this lockdown. And this is a group photo. Okay, and you can add them all onto your insect book. And hopefully next week we're gonna be painting together a dragonfly. So if you love that, join me. If you don't love it, I'm sure you will love it after all the fun facts we're gonna learn together. So stay safe and stay creative, and look at all the insects around you, and celebrate life and celebrate spring. And I'll see you next week. Bye.